Two, red class. Today is Wednesday, February 22, I believe. We're looking at Unit 3, Review Standard 1, Review Standard 2, Introduce Standard 1, and then go from there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we did a little bit of magic, a little counting, 1, 2, and 1 in the pockets, and we got it right. That trick I'm a little nervous on because I don't know what people are seeing. Nonetheless, for those who weren't here and for those who were, you get to remember this. There'll be two of these on Standard 2. So when you get your assessment, I'm going to hey, go Standard 2 first. Take care of these two baby guys, and then come back to Standard 1, which is what we're going to leave off on. But it'll be up to you what you decide to do. What we said last time is, hey, we have a coefficient. This coefficient tells us how many of these little extra things we have. It's called x4. I'll call it x4, x to the 4th power. This is page 49. So for those who have it, you get to just listen, let it go back in. For those who weren't here, you can write as fast as you can. I have 12 of these guys. I get 8 more, and again, I told us instead of adding, subtracting, I like the word combine. So if you weren't here, combine. When you go back to the video, you'll get the full version, but at least you get to hear this part fast. We're going to combine like terms, and so when I combine that 12 with that positive 8, someone tell me what I'm going to get? I got 20 of these x to the 4th power things. This is like a box, like a PS4. Don't think of it as a math thing. Think of it as how many of these weird-looking things I have. Over here, of course, last time I told you here we have when there's no number in front. Let me ask that question. And when there's no number in front of a letter, what number is really there? Yeah, okay. I jumped the gun, but it makes you feel smarter, doesn't it? All right, there's a 1 there. If there's a minus sign, it has to be a negative 1. If it's a plus sign, obviously it's a positive 1. Someone say out loud, ooh, this is the part that might mess you up. Should I do calculators? Maybe this first time I won't. And then when it's time to fix, you can use the calculator to fix. Some people are not that good with positive and negative numbers. They've forgotten how to do it when the signs are different. They don't know, is this going to be a 4 with a plus sign on it? Is it going to be like a 2? Like, what is the answer going to be? I'll say the official rule for those who've forgotten it. If the signs are different, you cover up the signs. And you do a regular subtraction. The big number, take away the small. Like the number part. For those who've forgotten positive and negative numbers, adding, subtracting when the signs are different. You cover up the sign, just do big number, take away small number. 3 take away 1 is a 2. That part's easy. Then you just have to decide the sign on it. Well, you take the sign of the larger number. The 3 is a larger number. Its sign happens to be a plus. And that's how you do when the signs are different. For those who forgot, there you go. Yes, there are a bunch of rules what happens when you're multiplying, but this is adding, subtracting. The signs are different. You can combine them. Cover it up. Subtract big, take away small. And then take the sign of the larger number. So let's see. Yes, because the coefficient, the front number is just saying how many of those things do you have. So when you're writing the answer down here, you still have to tell me how many of those things you have. Oh, I have 2 of these things. Because I started out kind of with 3 of them. Somebody took 1 of them away, stole it. I got jacked for it. And so I'm only left with 2 of these x squared things. But take a look at it. They'll have 1 there. For those who are like, oh, sweet. I know this from a long time ago. I'm not sure why they put it on Unit 3. Well, A. When really you could have gotten this in like pre-algebra. Instead they would have x's and y's instead of the squares, but it's the same thing. So it's kind of a freebie. That's why I want you to take it today and have that. Pause. Anybody want to ask anything about these? Where you get the 20, where you get the 2? Why isn't this x4 and x8? How come we didn't add those exponents? You don't add them because it's just saying I have this many of these. Now I have 8 more of these. How many of these do I have? Oh, I have 20 of these. So that's why you don't like add them. They don't change it to something else. When I get into the next unit, when you multiply them, they do change. But adding, subtracting. Okay, another one, turn to 53. I'm going to do 53, and that will be your reminder from last time. If you feel good about it, good for you. That means standard 2. You have a 2 in your pocket. So 53 rather, 53. Again, if you were here last time, your brain is relaxed and you're kicking back, you know what it feels like to be extra smart. What we did on this last one was I wanted you to rewrite both of these outside of the parentheses. And in this one, even in the other class, some people like to put the one with the 3 pieces on top. and the two pieces on the bottom. But again, put it in the order that it's given. Don't forget, this minus sign is what's going to mess up some of you in the room. So when you miss it, if you do, it's that minus sign that's going to make you miss it. This minus sign, just a reminder, just says, hey, I want the opposite of everything that's inside here, the opposite sign of everybody in here. Oh, you think you're a positive 3? No, 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 you're a negative 3. You think you're a positive 7? No, 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 you're a negative 7. You're a negative 6? No, 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 you're a positive 6. This minus sign says I want the opposite. That's what that dash equals in math. I want the opposite of everybody that's inside. So what I actually do last time was to rewrite the first piece. Just if there's no sign in front, you can just tear off the parentheses and rewrite it. That's what I actually do last time. Over here, I want you to rewrite that below, because that's how they like to write it. Let me do a little trick now. I don't know if I did this last time. I'm going to do it now. I think they're going to do it this way, and I want to make sure that no one gets fooled. They may actually write this original thing. I don't know if I did it this way last time. Directly below it, the 3m squared, the plus 7m, 6. They may have it like that, where it's in a parenthesis directly below it already. And what it may do, it may fool some people. They may not be sure, like, okay, so do I do the red numbers where it's the opposite? The answer is yes. You got to get rid of the parenthesis. How do you get rid of the parenthesis? I'm going to rewrite it in red. Everybody who is inside, you just rewrite them with the opposite sign. Notice no parenthesis. He's gone. See the 7? We switched it. And then that 6, I switched it. Notice there's no parenthesis. All the stuff in red is free flowing. It's just like the top row.
It's okay. The sign is negative.
You are correct. If it's positive, then you just tear it off. See, I just tore this off. Positive, you just tear it off.
And it's the same for the other.
Yes, oh, good. Yeah, if this was a plus, then it's true you just tear it off and then line it right up. Okay. Yeah, good point, good question. It's only this minus out front, which is why I say this is the one that a lot of people miss or whatever. But the good news is it's an easy fix. You have to fix your fix. I just tell you, oh, okay, there's a minus sign out front. What does that tell you? You have to do to everybody inside. You're like, oh, it switches it. You line it up and you win. Nonetheless, I'm about to get the final answer here. Now, for some student having 3 rows, they're going to add 8, a 3, and a 3. No, no, no. This middle row has been changed to the red. Again, for some of you, but to leave this in a second. 8 and a negative 3, or like that, it's almost like 8 take away 3. Nonetheless, let's say you're not that good with positive and negative. You cover up the signs. Do 8 take away 3, and it's a 5. Take the sign of the larger, is plus 5. So in this case, nothing weird. I had 8 of these M2s. Somebody came and took 3 of my M2s. How many M2s do I have left? I have 5 M2s. In other words, don't think of the M's and the letters. Don't think of anything special. Think of them like a phone. Think of them like a, I don't know, like a box or something. They've seen this a million times. They're just not sure what to do. They know 7 take away 7 is 0, so they're putting a 0 here. But the both signs are negative, so they're like, what do we do when the signs are the same? I don't know how to say it. Anybody know what's going to be here? It's a negative 14. I don't know how to say it. They tried to say it this way. You owe $7. That's what the negative 7 represents. You borrow some money from somebody. Then this second negative 7, you borrow $7 more from them. Well, how much money do you owe them? You owe them $14, and that's the way they tried to say it. I don't know if that works so much. And then the 6 plus nothing, it doesn't change it. Alright, that's just a reminder from last time. If you weren't here, that's part of what we did last time. I'm going to leave it there. I think they're going to submit the problem this way, where they have the minus sign already lined up. That's what I think outside. If you're not afraid of those, congratulations. You just got 2 points for standard 2. We're digging a little bit of standard 1. Standard 1's going to have some easy stuff. The only way they're going to make it tricky is they're going to have problems that look alike, but they'll ask you to do something different with this one than they ask you to do with that one. And what messes up some students with that is they do both the same thing to both of them when they're not asking you to. So I'm going to do the easier one first, the medium second, the hard third. But I'm going to tell you on the third one, you can ignore me. By doing 1, 2, you get your 2 points. 3 is just for some people from the last unit. They remember it, so let's see what we can do. Alright, where do I want them to go? I want them to go to page 16. Page 16. The Mad Hunter, page 16. And I have it kind of like standard there. I'm going to actually have you go to the very front and put down what the learning target is for this segment that we're looking at. So, while 16 is where we're going to wind up, let me go get the to this very front page is where we're going to write the standard for standard 2, or rather standard 1. Standard 1, which is at the very top of it. Let me erase that. So learning target, standard 1. Alright, I'll put stand 1, learning target. Learning target, of course, is the thing you're supposed to know when you walk out the door. That way you know, okay, did I learn the thing he was trying to get me to learn today, or did I just do random problems? They want you to see, I can use the structure of an expression to choose the best method when rewriting it. Doesn't that mean something? I can use the structure of an expression to choose the best method when rewriting it. I'm going to put I can rewrite expressions. Yeah, I can rewrite expressions. In math, the word expression just means I have a math problem that doesn't have an equal sign. You see a math problem written down, you don't see an equal sign, you're working with an expression. If you see an equal sign floating around somewhere, oh, you're working with an equation. So that's what they say I can rewrite an expression, sorry. That little insert thing is, oops, we figured out, but then when you erase expression, we have the power to. So I move the whole thing. So I'll get rid of all those bubbles. So that's what you're able to do. Let's see if we can get this part in here. Alright. There's a problem from Unit 2 that's on here, where we had to find the line of symmetry. We had to factor it. We had to find the zeros. The line of symmetry is like a real long problem. Is standard 2. They put that problem back on here, except the only part you have to do is the big X. I'm going to say that one last. That'll be the third problem that you can ignore me on, but since some of you know it from last unit, you'll get that one. So let's see if we can do 2 easy things. What's the first page I told you to go to? 16? Alright. 16. Let's see, before using those 2, let me see if I can talk about what this kind of means. You know what it means? It'll be easier. So let's see what we got here. Please circle the word or. Circle the word or. In other words, you can get some choices here. I'm going to suggest one version, but for those who have both, you'll be able to do that. So let's see if I can do this with just single letters or with single numbers. Let's do single letters first, and then we'll do what's up here. Please write down A times A, X's, D's, M's. Let's use the letter M so I don't use any letters that are already there. Let's do M times M times M. That's what you call things that can multiply by each other. There's a name in math for things that are being multiplied by each other. I heard cube. That's they'll be related to. I heard someone. Product will be the answer when you multiply them, so that's good. X1 is going to be used in a moment. But the actual letters, or if you were multiplying numbers 2 times 2 times 2, the numbers of the letters are called something with the letter F. Factors is it. Anytime you hear the word factor, you know that something is being multiplied. Go ahead and write down multiply. Now again, I'm still checking the time. But I'm trying to give us a vocabulary because time it's hard to say, I don't even know what you're talking about. Please factor it. Please write it as a multiplication problem. Whenever they say please factor something, that's what they're saying. All right, there's the deal. I have 3 m's. I have 3 factors. There are a variety of ways I can write this. Someone mentioned something about being cubed. It's true. If I want to rewrite this thing, I could write it as, I have m's. How many m's do I have? As factors, I have 3. So that's 3 cubed. That's one way to write this original thing. And eventually they said, please rewrite. So they're going to give you something. And they say, hey, I'm going to give it to you like this. Can you write it in a different form? Like, oh, yeah, I can do like a m to the 3rd power. How about that? You like that? Like, yeah. And then it said, like, there's another way you can write it, too. And it goes like this. I could maybe do, like, I have 1 m, and then the other 2 m's, I'll put those guys together. All 3 of these be the same thing. They're written in factor form on page 16. They're written in factored form. This one happened to be the long stretch where everybody's individual. No big deal. I could squish those individuals together to put them all here under the banner of the 3. Now, why I would do this last one, I don't know why I do the last one, but I have that choice. I can do like, let me do one and then all the other ones together. So here's the deal. They're going to give you one of these 3, and it'll be your job to write it in one of the other forms. Hey, Thomas, which form do you want us to write it in? My recommendation is to either do the one where you separate all of them. If you have 4 of them, then clank, 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 clank. They're 4 m's. Or you can squish them together. This is like my second choice. Squish them together. In other words, if you give me like a 1 separated plus that one, now put them all together. You got 3, put them all together. Which one do I like the best, though? I like the top row the best. Put them all apart. Alright, so here's your task. First time you get to guess. I'll do the answer, and the second time you'll be okay. Up here, they have written this big long thing in factor form. How do you know it's factor form? I got 1 of these things times 2 of these things. How does he know he has 2 of these things? The exponent tells him how many he has. What is it that I want you to do? I want you to rewrite this thing as either a single term, single, or fully factored. Fully factored means fully stretched out, or fully factored. This one I'm going to come around and check mark to see what you guessed. Now, I haven't done an example with the actual parentheses. I did it with the little letter M. And I'm checking to see, okay, can they do it now with the factor form? This time I did it with the M. So, top row is the fully factored form. That's one I recommend. If you can do that one, second row, do the one where you squish them all together on a single. So I'm trying to do both. When you get to your assessment, you only have to do one of them. But I figure, well, let me see if they can do both here. If they can do both here, after I check it off, then we'll do it one more time, and this will be 1 point on the test, just like that. So if you feel comfortable with what you're doing, standard 1. With the M's, it's a little bit simpler because there's only one piece to look at. So when I squish the M's together, I can see it's an M3. Or even here with this M2 and so on. But once you put it like there's a big plus sign in parentheses, some of you kind of got what you, but others did it properly. Here's what I want you to think. This whole thing is like one of these M's. So I have one of these whole things. I'm going to put an exponent just so you see I have one of those whole things. And then I have 2 of these whole things. Again, once you see that, then the question, well, let me ask it out loud. How many of these whole things do I have all together? Yeah, I have 3 of these whole things. So here I got 1 of them, and I got 2 over here. And so in the end, here's what the final answer looks like. For a single, I'm going to do a single. For a single, I just rewrite this whole thing. And then up here's the exponent. I just say, how many of them I have? I have 3 of them all together. Now let me pause. If you don't have this answer, put this answer somewhere on your paper, please. I think I saw it on some. I'm going to do the tear apart thing, and I saw the tear apart one on there. Will you need to know both of them? Officially, no. Once I do the second version of this, you're going to be like, okay, the one with the 3, that one was easier for me. Okay, on the test, go for that one. All right, here it comes. What is the other version of this? Well, I have one of these whole things here, and I have 2. How do I do the fully factored version? I just wanted writing this thing 3 times. I'm running out of space. I'm trying to put it below here. A plus B. I got the first one. A plus B. I got the second one. A plus B. I got the third one. I feel like I saw their this answer over here where they kind of knew something was up, so I think they did something like A3, B3. Like they know that like I had 3 of them, so they put like the 3's inside. This means something different than that. So you don't get to use that one. So if you put that one in there, either erase it or put a line through it. So maybe let me keep it up there so that you know that it's not this one. All right. Take a look at these two. See if you want to ask me something, because I'm about to give you another try in just a second. And there are only 2 tries. We don't have like a bunch of these. We only have 2 of these. And this next one, I'm probably going to ask. No, I should do both. Anybody want to ask about the top row or that middle row? All right. Ask me something, and I'll say something. There's 3 here. He says, how many factors do I have? I have 1 factor of the first piece. Then I got 2 factors of the second piece. So altogether, I have 3 of them all together. So the exponent just tells you, how many do I have? Anybody want to ask anything else before I ask you to do the second one? The second one's kind of your last chance, but well, I'm still going to put the answer on the board one time. All right, so here it comes. With this second one, please write this as a single. I'm sorry, yeah, as a single or a fully factored. I want you to do both, but let's just say, no, I get this one better than that one, then choose one of the 2. And then write that out. Do it for this one right here. And again, about 15, 20 seconds, I'll start making my way around. So this is standard 1. This is one of the 2 problems I want you to have for sure. Because it's not so hard if you know what they're asking you. They'll use math words, fully factor, single term. But they're just saying, how many of these things do you have? All right, this, about 5 seconds, I'll ask for hands. And I'll come around for it. Okay, here it comes. Raise your hand if you're ready for me to come and just kind of check mark yours. All right. So usually I start here, so I'm going to start this way and wrap it down that way, and then back row, I'll come to you. Again, if you're able to do both, I would want you to, but let's just say you're better with one than the other. I would take that because on the test they actually give you a choice. And again, the first time I had you guess at it, the second time, you kind of know what you're trying to do. And so seeing the answers look a lot more like this time than the first time. And so this is the way it should be. The good news is this will get to be a freebie on the test for most of us, which is why I was saying I know they kind of don't want the test broken up this way. They don't see, can you remember all that stuff in there? All right, there it is. I'll do both versions on the board. I'll ask a question. Oh, I'll record while I'm walking around. I'll put the short version, long version on the board. I'll see if there's anything else, and we'll leave it. Again, the short version, I saw this one a couple of times. What's the exponent should be on this one, please? Mm-hmm. Hey, I got 5 of these. How do I know? This one tells me I have 2. This one tells me I have 3 more. And then the stretch version, of course, is to say I'm multiplying these 5 times. Yeah, I guess I'd probably go the short version. All right. That's a little bit of a mistake. So you guys are benefiting from that. All right, so you're on page 2 here. Page 2, what is it that they're asking them for in math? Is this in factored form? Please double underline completely. Hey, what's the completely deal? It is factored. How can you tell? Well, tell me how I can tell it's already factored. When you see that, would say, yeah, it's factored. Stretched out of her. Shouldn't have taken that stretched out because they like they shut down after stretched out. Any other way you can say that it's factored? What word should we think of when we hear the word factor? Multiplication. Please put multiply up here. The way I can tell that this thing is factored, I have 7 times 2x plus 10 times 3x minus 6. It's one long multiplication problem. So vocabulary is important to be part of the math world. So what is it that they want me to do? All right, let's see if we can do this thing. Some students would probably multiply the 7 times the 2 and the 7 times the 10. I've seen that happen. But you're not factoring there. You're distributing. If I want something factored, somehow I need to take something out. So let's try it this way. This guy's outside in the cold. Number 7 is outside in the cold. When I finish this problem, so that when you finish this problem, there'll be 3 guys outside in the cold. Okay? You're all up inside. It's all nice and warm, and options for you. This guy dropped out of school, so he's outside loitering outside, trying to decide whether he's going to go to the gym or come in here. But you guys are like, you're in options for you. That's sweet. And then you're in, they're in another class. They're in options for you. To factor this, we need 3 guys loitering outside. Loitering just means hanging around. You know, where old ladies are afraid to walk through the group. Yeah, like that, loitering. And what's weird, sometimes I'll admit this, sometimes when I come to options and the people are like out there, some people look scary. But what's cool about it, as I get closer, it's like, oh, shoot, but I know them. Yeah, I'm in class. So as I walk through, I still don't want them to kill me, that's true. But as I walk through, I'm like, hey, what's up? I know them. Then I get inside. But on the outside, I can see some other people who don't work here can see some, not you all in here, but some other people here who look scary. Like out there and then doing the thing. They're laughing. It's scary. But yeah, when you see them, you're like, oh, shoot. Then I know them, so I'm not afraid. You see this? That's of my. All right, let's keep going. Oh, did I record it? Related. All right, now. What's the point? Oh, the point. Oh, yeah, it is half related. So here, there are some people outside options, some people inside. How do you know when you get the problem right? There are 3 people outside of options. You're outside already. How can I get someone out of here? How can I factor someone out? So let me, on the second line, I'll make you, I'll keep you 7 here. Can someone tell me a number that can factor out of a 2 and a 10? In other words, what's the number that goes in both 2 and 10? 2. There's someone else outside of options now. The 2 has been factored out. And now to see who's left behind inside safe, I have to divide. I divide the 2 here, I divide the 2 there. 2 goes into 2 one time. I'm gonna put the 1 there, even though so again. 2. Let me finish the factor, and then I'm gonna multiply back in to show you. But you'll kind of see what I'm saying. 2 goes into 10. How many times, please? On a real test, they will never write that 1 for the X. I'm afraid to erase it because then somebody will think, well, what happened to the 1? So I'll say it to you this way. If, because you're not used to factoring, you need to do 2 into 2 goes 1 time, 2 goes into 10 5 times, write the 1. But on a real test, when they give you the final answers, multiple choice, that 1 won't be there. It'll look something like this. 2 goes into 2 1 time, and it's after the X. But you never write a 1 in front of an X. But 1 times anything is just that thing. So, sorry, I didn't make it up. All right, but here's the deal. The question was asked, hey, kind of why are you dividing to get the factor? Well, what's true is, once you factor something, rewritten this as a multiplication problem of the X plus 5 times the 2, the rule is, if I were to multiply this 2 back in, it should get me what I started with. 2 times x is 2x. I'm factoring because I'm able to multiply. 2 times 5 is a 10. So when you factor something, Thomas, please factor 6. Oh, to factor 6, I could do 2 times 3, because if I were to multiply those guys back, it would give me the original. Are you sure? Can I do 1 times 6? Yeah, you factored it. I wrote it as a multiplication problem, because if I multiply the 1 times 6, I get that thing back. So up here, when you rewrite this thing, that 7 there, if I were to factor this, I have to rewrite as a multiplication problem between 2 things, that when I multiply back in, they give me the original. That's the best I can say. All right, so we got two guys outside loitering, scaring people, except not me, because I know them. Can someone tell me what number goes into a 3 and a 6? I don't think they'll always make it the first number, but on this example they did. Hopefully when your problem that you're about to do in a second, yours, hopefully they'll change it so that it's something different. Nonetheless, 3, you are now outside, and who's left inside? Let's see. 3 goes into 3 one time, so it will be left with just the x, 1x that we don't write. How many times does 3 go into 6, please? So here's some good news. You're not done, but the good news is one person outside, 2 people outside, 3 people outside. Everybody else is safe and office for you. These are people who are outside waiting for their rides or whatever they're doing out there. Eating their lunch, taking their microwave. All right, so here's the deal. Here's the official last part. Hopefully you're okay with the 7. He's already there. Don't do anything. Some people mess around with the 7. 7's already there. We factored out a 2. We factored out a 3. Again, I wrote it as a multiplication problem 3 times. The last thing is you have to multiply all the outside guys, and you win the game. You don't have to do anything with the parentheses. If someone can do that, 7 times 2 is 14. 14 times 3, I don't know what that is. So let me multiply a little differently. If I do 2 times 3, what is that? 2 times 3? Anybody know what 6 times 7 is? It is 42. That version I like better. Somebody who needs to see this, let's put over here, this 7 times a 2. Hopefully you can see how some people are going to miss this one. That's why I did that easier one first, where you just pull it apart, you put it together, there's no multiplying. This part, some people, their math brain is going like, oh shoot, forget it, I'm out. There'll be one more I'm going to say that might give you a backup to this one. So this one's mess up with you, there's one more I'll give you a backup. Those will be the 3 for today. That'll be your test, see what you do with it. Let people need time to do their thing, let some people leave, and that kind of stuff. It's week 4. Let me see, let's do some other teachers. I have some students with them. Yeah, I would like to transfer. All right, here comes, there's the 3. If any teachers are picking up, talk to your teacher. Hey, you want a student? Thomas has one for you. All right, so here's the deal. If the numbers get big, because some students are going to do 7 times 2 to get a 14, then they're going to be stuck. 14 times 3. Who knows 14 times 3? I don't. So what you do is you make use the other 2 smaller numbers first. Do 2 times 3 is a 6. So most people know that 7 times 6 is 42. Again, this first time through, I'm not going to have you do it with calculators. You check your work next time with calculators. All right, so, hey, Thomas, so what's the final answer? We know this guy here, this guy, and this guy, when we multiply them, we get a 42. What do I do with these? Do I multiply them? No. How do you know? Because factor form, everything stays as one big multiplication problem. The minute you start multiplying stuff together, then you are doing a totally different kind of problem. Factor says, start off the multiplication problem. Let somebody else get the answer. You just write the problem. For those who know this from algebra, sorry to hold out on you. There you go. Go to page 3. It's your turn. Okay, page 3 is shot. Take a test. So you might want to ask anything about this before you start the way out. If I guess it's your turn. Over here. I multiplied those 2 guys first. That way I can have small numbers on the calculator. If you can try and do the problem without looking, try. If you have to look, let's look. I'm not mad at you. This one could be a little bit tricky for some. After this one, do one other type of problem, but the next one would be able to tell you you don't have to listen. If it will mess up your brain. Don't mess up your brain. Alright, let's get some help here. What number goes into 3 and 15, please? Yeah. Again, I wonder if they're going to make it that easy on the test where they're going to put that, the 3. Now he's outside. 3 goes into 3 one time. 3 goes into 15 how many times? Thank you. What number goes into 4 and a 6? 2. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. By the way, this is one long multiplication problem. That means it's factored. Let's see. 2 goes into 4. How many times? Appreciate that. How many times does 2 go into 6? So I saw a lot of good stuff out there. And then finally, the outside numbers, we multiply them. I might do the 3 times 5. Be careful. I mean, 3 times 2 to be a 6. So 6, 3, and a 2. I would probably do, I can do 3 times 2 to be a 6. And then the 6 times 6 gives us a 36. Be careful with that. If you have this line and you mess up here, I might be able to work with you. But for now, it is fully factored. It is fully one long multiplication problem. You can't break it down anymore. Fully factored. Completely factored. When you hear factor, think multiplication. All right, I'm paused. If anyone needs... All right, here it comes. The problem looks like this from the last few. Let's say it's... this one. If I can get this done. 4x squared plus 28x plus 48. Write that problem down. This is a example. You only get one of these. The reminder from last time, the problem looks something like 3x squared plus 9x plus it was something 84 plus 84. We're not doing this one. What I want to say to you is, remember this one from before? We had to factor, get the line of symmetry, whatever. Step one on this one over here, we had to divide the -3 into it. If anyone remembers the test from last time, that might remind you of it. You want it with something like a -3 out front, and then inside was x squared and a minus 3x and a, like I think it was like a 28 or something like that, -28. This is like a long time ago. It's from last unit, standard 2. Then on this one over here, I'm just reminding you because that's what I'm about to do right here, except without negatives or anything. Just reminding you you've already done this, which is why I'm only going to do for half a second. Then over here we had to do this, the big X thing. And then we found out that, what are two numbers that when you multiply them, the last number always goes on the top. You get a 28, but when you add the same two numbers, you get a -3. Anybody remember what the two numbers were that when you multiply them, you get a -28? When you add them, you get a -3? It's from last unit. Sweet. Thanks. Thanks for forgetting that. My life has been... All right, here goes. A 7 times a 4 will give you a 28. How do I know which one's going to be negative? Anybody know? Like the 7 or the 4, how do I know? Yeah. Whatever the sign is on the bottom goes with a larger number. So in this particular case, the 7 got to have a negative. Well, this was something before. Well, hey, Thomas, why are you even telling us that? That's the last unit, dude. We leave that in the past. I don't take that long with this. This problem here wants you to do the same thing, except they just want this first part here. Let me write down the factored form of this. The -3 goes up front. The x minus the 7, and the x plus the 4. This is fully factored. Hey, Thomas, could you do that again here? Just take it step by step and then let us have the test? Sure. Step 1. To factor, you can't have a number in front of the squared term. How do you get rid of it? You divide that number under everybody. This one we're doing together, there is no second one of these. So this is it. Again, if your brain is full, you just write and don't think. When you get the assessment, you don't even have to try this one. You can keep this one for later, watch the video on it again, and then, okay, second time I get it, boom, I'm getting on that one. All right, I'm left with now just a 4 out front. And inside, I'm left with the x squared. 2 goes into 28 7 times. Yeah. Oh, 4 into 48. Really? They would do a big one like that? 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 2 times. So far, it looks exactly the same. Looks like the numbers. A little bit bigger, smaller. I put my big X. But we're almost done on this one. The last number goes on the top or on the bottom? Does anyone know? Top or the bottom? Yeah, top. What are two numbers that when I multiply them give me 12? The middle 7 goes on the bottom, but when I add those same two numbers, it would be 7. I hear a 4 and a 3. Now let me check and see if that's true. Let's see. 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, that part works out. 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay. It works out. The only thing that can mess you up on these is, oh, I'm not that good with my timetables, and oh, I'm not good with positive and negative. By the way, we're done. About to pass out the test to me in a moment. You better have the answer, Thomas. Is this in factored form? No. In order to be in factored form, it has to be one number times some parentheses. X plus 4 and that x plus 3. That's how I know I factored it. There's no multiplication going on. I didn't factor anything. Take a look at the answer. See if you're nervous. This one is not required. But for some people who remember from last time. Alright. Take a look, see if you want to